All right, there we go. Good morning. All right. Oh, Kristen, you seem like you're in a good mood today. Everything going well? All right. So we're going to start with a meditation today. So get yourself cozy. Begin to settle in, closing your eyes. And come to your breath. Noticing all the sensations in your body as you breathe. Notice the movement of your body against the clothes. Feel the sensations of your own heartbeat. And then bring your attention to the tip of your nose. And begin counting your breath, beginning with your exhale. And we're going to count to 50 breaths. Softly. Just to bring our minds inwards. And wherever you are, just let go of the count. And then around you in meditation, see yourself sitting in a room surrounded by windows. And through those windows is a soft golden light of the sun coming through. It illuminates the room to a perfect level of brightness and warmth. And if you start noticing a bit of dullness in your meditation, like a little sleepiness or spaciness, you can see that the light of the sun brightens the room. Or if you're feeling agitated today or you're feeling busy minded, you can bring down the light to bring your mind back into equal meditation. So really check in with the state of your mind right now. If you make the room too bright, you will start to become more energized, but maybe too much. Or if you make it too dark, you might become too sleepy. Only you can make that adjustment for yourself. Then your teacher comes into the room with you, whomever that is, and they come and sit with you in meditation. And you see them there illuminated by the light. And in this case, it's not just about seeing them with you, but it's feeling them with you as well. And then focus your attention on their eyes. See their eyes as loving. See that their eyes are happy to be there with you. And then check in with the state of your mind again. Are you able to stay on this image, this presence with your teacher? Or is your mind bouncing around? Or are you feeling a little bit dull about it? Like they're there, but it's not very bright. So make some adjustments. If they're not very bright and you're feeling a little sleepy, brighten up the room. Brighten up the room until you get to a point where your mind might start getting busy or distracted. And if you're on the other side, bring the light down. And go back to sitting with your teacher. Just enjoying their presence. You're not doing anything. You don't have to do anything. And then see them float up in front of you, shrinking down really small, and coming to the tip of your head, facing the same direction you are. And then all the light of the room, everything in the room dissolves into them, and then they melt down from the tip of your head into your heart. And then from inside your heart, that golden light once again comes out from them and fills your entire body. Filling you with their essence of understanding of karma and emptiness. And then take 3 deep exhales. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Maybe take a stretch if you'd like. All right. Good morning. So if you would like, I would like, if you turn on your cameras, please. I like seeing some of you, but I don't see all of you. There. Thank you. So we were in the middle of a discussion on the perfection of patience. And yeah, if your internet's bad, turn off your camera. I understand. But I like to see your faces. Don't use that as an excuse. We were talking about how anger, and it's really weird, in parentheses, it's really weird how certain topics just keep coming up in all the classes that I go to. Like if you were in the SCIM classes, all we were talking about was anger and how anger destroys your good seeds. I'm like, Tim, why does this keep appearing everywhere? I wonder if you have anger issues. And anger is kind of a nefarious thing. It's a very deep thing, and oftentimes we don't even see it. Right? Some of us get so good at anger that we're really good at like looking like everything is fine. But you're somehow, I like to call it cold anger. Like, can't really, things aren't heated up because you've learned how to navigate it, but you're still angry on the inside. And it's a very powerful negative emotion that has the potential to block so many good things that happen to us or could be happening. But we're focused on an object. I mean, the essence of anger is you're focused on something that you don't believe should be there. And then all of your Dharma understanding, everything about the pen just goes out the window as soon as anger gets strong enough. I don't know. Veronica just started laughing. Yes. It's like the moment that anger really like takes hold, no matter like the idea of where it could be coming from, who you got to, all the causes for it just kind of fly away. And then we start acting from that point of view. And part of our practice is to come back to that understanding, like, and equally powerful. Like this is, there's all this fear that comes up with Shantideva that, oh, I have one moment of anger and I destroy eons of good karma. Probably true. You're blocking that good karma. But on the other side of it, and you should be afraid. You should be afraid if you feel like you're blocking your good karma. But being afraid of it is also a kind of understanding as well. Like you understand that the power of it. And equally powerful is just being able to interrupt it and think about, well, where did that come from? Where did that anger show up from? Why did I get angry yesterday? I saw something I didn't want to see. So where did that come from? Right. And thinking that way, even trying to find the causes for it, is a powerful, powerful antidote on the other side of it. So don't beat yourself up too much. Our emotions are powerful. Our reactions are powerful. They're habitual. We can't stop them in the moment. But an application of wisdom can become a deep antidote to those negative emotions. If you're not feeling the way you want to feel, you're not experiencing life the way you want to experience it. If you find yourself in patterns of anger or frustration or not getting what you want, just having the thought that these are old seeds, even while you're in it, is changing the pattern. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way. I mean, I just know from my own experience that it doesn't feel that way all the time. It's like, it's just too powerful. And you're like, and then things overwhelm. So, but that's why that's why we do these classes. This is why we do these things, just keep swimming, as I said last time. Just keep swimming. Find your Dharma friends, find people to talk to, find support. I have a network of people who I talk to when I'm having a crappy day. Some of my closest Dharma friends have people I see as great practitioners. Well, they are great practitioners and they have crappy days, right? They just do. And then they call and you're just like, well, that's self-existent, they're self, but you can't say that. You can't even say it to yourself. I mean, that's the fun part. Just like, it's, and you're okay, but it's okay. It's okay to go through periods. But you need to have people to talk to. Who can listen to you, who can be that support for you. And it's really important. And we have a concept in our tradition. We call it a ne lama. I will spell it for you in chat. Ne, crucial point, lama. Okay. And this is a type of person, and everyone should have someone. Everyone should have a ne lama, someone you can go to on a day-to-day basis to process when you're having a crappy day. Who can you call that you trust, who can listen to your story, right? Because if you really look at yourself, like what story are you telling yourself, and what record play? Right, I mean, some of you probably don't even know what these things are, but what record are you playing around and around and around? Right? I am this. I am like this. I suffer with this. Yes, you do. That's true. You do suffer from that, and you do think that way about yourself, and it is true. True from a point of view that you tell yourself that story, but it's not the only thing. But you need someone to be able to talk to. Like, big llamas like Geshe Michael, like he has no time. How many times do you listen to Geshe Michael's class and he's complaining about not having any time? It's like, have you seen my calendar? He says, right? He does give time at times to students, but you need someone who has time and is available. Like good lamas like Geshe Michael and John Brady and Connie O'Brien. Like they're so busy and they have so many students, right? They don't have time. The time that they teach is in class, right? That time that they are there is like listen in class. Like I remember one time whining to Geshe Michael about something, and he was like, I taught you that in 2013 in this class. And I was like, okay. Okay, bye. He's like, I already taught you that. And I'm like, as much as Geshe Michael pretends not to remember anything, he remembers everything. Right? He's like, I taught you that. Now shut up and go away, is what he basically said. It's like, you learned it, now apply it. I have nothing else to teach you. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I put up my hoodie. Right. And I'm like, bye. Okay, right. But that doesn't mean you just still don't need support, right? Just because a lama told you how to do something doesn't mean you don't have the need for support, right? So find people, like people in the community. There's lots of people who are deep practitioners who aren't busy teachers. Or or finding a good friend who is, at your level. Find a Sith. Hey, wait to see what I bring back from Japan. um, so I have a really good friend I talked to for an hour yesterday. We've known each other for 12 years, 13 years. Like we kind of showed up at the, at Diamond Mountain together. And we were just talking and I was like, dude, when did you get so wise? And he was like, and then we had a Buddhist fight. He was like, no, you're wise. And I was like, no, you're, I was like, we were going back and forth. And we had a really deep philosophical conversation about our challenges and understanding them, and got really deep into things. He's not my teacher in that sense, but, he's someone I go to when I'm having a really difficult time. He knows me. He knows my stuff. He knows when I'm being self-existent. He knows when I'm being naughty. He knows when I'm being nice, right? He knows when I'm being self-existent. He knows when I'm being dharmic. And he knows how to unravel me when I'm having a crappy time. So find someone, find that support network. How do you find that person? Help other people. Duh. Help other people create support networks. Look, there's 82 people in class today. Raise your hand if you need someone to talk to about your practice. Come on. Look, I'm sure everyone needs someone to talk to. Just be like, oh, look, Ute looks interesting. Hey, can I talk to you about my practice? Right. And then you realize, well, Ute may not be my best friend. You're like, well, let me try someone else. How about Rosalia? And you try Rosalia. You talk to Rosalia for a little bit. And they're like, she's cool too, but not quite the person. Right. And then eventually you'll find your bestie. Get it? Oh, wait, why's my hand up? No, there you go. Okay. Just talk to people. Like ask someone, hey, look, I'm available. I can have office hours today. I'm available. Talk to me. Be a Nade Lama for someone else. Duh. Just listen to someone else. But we do need that support, and I understand that need for support. And asking people when you have a difficult time is a sign of strength. And the only way the community grows is when we are strong together. And there will be people who are having bad times, and there'll be people who are having good times, right? As a community, people will be struggling. Some other people will be stronger, and that's how a community stays strong. So we just need to ask for support, and it's sometimes scary to ask for support. I know. Because personally, I feel like a failure when I have to ask for support. Because I don't need anyone. I can do it myself. How many of you are like that? I can figure this out myself. Shanti, right? You're like, I can do this. And you just like, get strong. And you're like, I can do this. And you start like pushing through. Right? You just need to ask. It's interesting, Shanti saying, for example, it's difficult for her to ask for support, yet she's a grief counselor, right? So she's a great person to talk to if you need help. She's a specialist. Yes. Reach out to each other. And then you realize that maybe a lot of us have the same problems. We're actually struggling with the same things. We just never asked. You just never asked any. You didn't look. You thought you were the only one. You thought you were the only poor Dharma practitioner who struggles with understanding, and no one else struggles with these things. And yeah, you have that. How's that one? Everyone else is so wise and angelic, and I'm the only idiot. What makes you, like, you're not the only one. And even if everybody else is angelic, the angels will pretend they have the same problems anyway. So functionally, it's the same thing. Okay. So just ask for help. Find someone. I implore you. I beg you. Which moves us into our next topic, which is the fourth perfection. And the fourth perfection is joyful effort. Taking joy in stuff. Like it's very specific definition. We'll get into it in a moment. But joyful effort, it's a kind of special perfection of the six perfections. Because in a way, it's a bridge. All right. It's a bridge between the first three and the last two. The first three being generosity, ethical way of life, patience. And then the last two being meditation and wisdom. And joyful effort is kind of what links them together. So the first three, joyful, generosity, ethics, patience, and including joyful effort, those are mainly, primarily, right, is all about collecting good seeds. It's about collecting what we call merit, sunam. Like it's the collection of all the good seeds that you need for mainly, I'm saying mainly because there's other things going on, but mainly for the collection of merit, which would be mainly the cause for the body of a Buddha. Okay. So joyful effort is kind of what links those, is part of those three. And then mainly meditation and wisdom become the seeds for, is the collection of wisdom along with joyful effort. So joyful effort is kind of split. It serves both sides of the six perfections, the collection of merit, the collection of good deeds, and then the collection of meditation and wisdom. Excuse me, the collection of wisdom, which includes meditation and wisdom. Okay, so joyful effort is kind of this, it's like smashed in between. So it's kind of a cool, it's a, for me, I've always kind of wondered, and I'm hoping the answer will come. You know, what is the seed for this perfection? Like, what seed do you plant? If it's a seed that's, if it's a perfection that spans both collection of merit and collection of wisdom, right? People ask me this question. Well, Tim, I'm good at working hard, but I'm not good at like being happy about it or joyful, right? Or I'm good at being like joyful, but I'm lazy as, I'm slothy, I'm lazy. Shanti filled in the rest of my sentence and I stopped it. My language was going to get nasty. But, you know, like, how do you put those things together? And so these two sides depend upon effort, making efforts in generosity, ethics, and patience, making efforts in meditation and, you know, your understanding of the pen, right? That's what links all of that together. You know, and if you're not making any efforts, then nothing will change, right? Duh. I mean, that's obvious. But it's a specific kind of effort. And I think this is really important for type A personality Dharma practitioners. You know who you are. I'm not going to call you out, but I'm looking at some of you right now. And those of you who are afraid to turn on your cameras, don't worry, I know you're there too, right? I know some of you are type A Dharma practitioners. Okay. You will work so hard where working hard becomes an affliction. All I'm doing is, why do I have to see it? Hello, like, look at me, right? I'm that person. You know, I work too hard. But you have to make efforts. Like where's the balance of efforts? Like, where's the balance, like we did in our meditation in the beginning? You know, that balance between being too busy minded, right? And then lazy. right? Where you're not engaged enough, right? And we call in meditation that space, Geshe calls it being bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? Like I like to find that place where the energy is at its maximum before my mind gets distracted, where my mind starts bouncing off to other objects. But there's a place in meditation where if you're not bright enough and you're just like you're like, oh man, my eyes are sensitive. Let me turn down that light, right? Let me soften that a little bit, where it actually feels more comfortable at first. And then you just kind of ride that. That's what we call subtle dullness. You're focused on the object, but your energy, like there's not a, like they call it nar in Tibetan. It's not bright-eyed engagement. It's just a little bit of dullness. And that's a dangerous place to be in meditation because you won't make any progress. But it feels good. It feels really good. And this is the same thing with effort. Like, where is that balance of too much or too little? Like, if you make too little progress or too little effort, you're going to make too little progress, and then you're going to you won't have realizations. But if you push it too much, then you're going to be one of those Dharma practitioners who gets irritated with other Dharma practitioners because they're not serving enough. Or they're not serving well enough. Or you're like, I'm better than I can do this better than anyone else. And then all the other afflictions, I'm going to show my teacher that I'm awesome, right? And then you work really hard. And then it becomes an affliction. And then you work too much, and then your prana gets tight, and then you get exhausted, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, burnout, Dharma burnout. Okay. So where is that balance, right? Where's that balance of being a bodhisattva where you're trying to serve people really well and take care of them, but not, and pushing your capacity, but not overextending your capacity, right? It's a balance. It's like meditation, moving between those extremes of dullness and agitation. Same with effort, moving between too much and too little. But it's not just effort, right? It's not just making efforts in things, planting good seeds, meditation, whatever. Those are important things. But it's also bringing up or cultivating a feeling of joy while you're doing it. It's not just effort, right? It's how do you feel good about it? Like, what emotion are you uploading into your karmic bank when you're doing the effort? Right? Are you uploading frustration? Are you uploading pride? Are you uploading some kind of affliction? Or are you uploading joy? Okay. Because oftentimes when we work hard, we don't enjoy it. But how can you take joy in doing these things? Like, oh, we have our next Dharma event. Oh God, we're running late. Oh shit, ACI is running late once again. Oh, it starts on Saturday morning. We haven't advertised it yet. Blah, 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 blah. Everyone goes into a tizzy. Hi, Pia. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Barcelona. By the way, we're going to be in July, we're going to be in Taiwan for 4 days, giving a program on meditation. Then we're going to fly to Barcelona, because I can say it correctly. And they're working on putting some programming there together. And then after that, we're going to Romania and putting on a program there for a weekend. And then I'm flying to Mexico City for Angel Debates the Devil. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. 4 jet lags, 3 jet lags in like 3 weeks. It'll be fun. But if you're around at any of those, Taiwan, connect with Angel and Janet. For Taiwan, connect with Pia Anastasia for Barcelona. Connect with, I don't know if she's here today, Luisa or Christian, or where's our other Romanian translator? I think she disappeared. Roxana as well. If you want to come to any of those programs. They're not all designed yet, but we're working on it. Middle of July. But how do you find upload joy in the work that you do? Right? Because it doesn't matter. Like, okay, we have a program starting on Saturday. We started advertising 2 days ago. So what? Right? Did you enjoy doing it or did you hate doing it? If you enjoyed doing it, fine. If you hated doing it, let's talk. Right? Let's find a different emotion. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're late all the time and can't get stuff done, procrastinator Tim, why? Right? So figure it out. Figure out the seeds, Tim. Why do you have to see that? Why do you see that? Why are you late with things? What is holding you back? Okay, let's explore that. Go talk to your Ne Lama, Tim. Go figure it out. But how do you find joy in even the things you're doing that maybe you don't want to do? And if you don't want to do it, then why are you doing it? And I think there's this idea that we have in our minds that, oh, there's always something better you could be doing that you're not doing, but you don't know what that other thing is, or you're stuck doing the thing you're doing because of some obligation. But maybe it's, how can we take simple joys in planting good seeds? I mean, that's the end of that's Geshe gave this, again, he was talking about this topic 2 days ago. Thank you for teaching me what I need to teach today. Right. And he was telling us, right. He's like, people like you and me, wrong Ray, wrong Chuck, right? Like this is what he's saying. And like, people like you and me. I'm like, okay, here we go, Geshe. People like you and me, right? And he says, I'm not really good at coffee meditation. I'm like, oh, really? That's nice. Doesn't look like it, but okay. And he was saying that he tries to find just a general level of satisfaction with everything he's doing, everything he's operating in. When people are bugging him to get stuff done and all these things, and I wonder if I change my procrastination, if Geshe Michael's procrastination would change. And I wonder if the reason he shows that is because he knows I need to purify that seed. And if I purified that seed, he would always be on time. or ahead of things. Interesting. Sorry. This is Tim being a Dharma practitioner in the middle of class. Wonder, That's a cool idea. Anyway, but he just says a general level of satisfaction. Can you be satisfied? Happy, like just not super happy. You don't have to be over the top happy. Just a little bit. Like enjoy the sky, enjoy the sunlight, just enjoy a little bit more. Maybe help other people enjoy things. I do that. I'd like to point out cool things to look at or think about. Distract people, make them happy, make them enjoy things. I do this on purpose. People think I'm just being random. No, I'm trying to get them to be joyful about things. Plant the seed to be joyful, so then it'll just naturally arise when you're doing other things. That emotion will arise with effort, right? So I'm trying to distract people to be happy. So it's just taking joy and doing good things. All the things that ACI does are good things. We're so busy. All we're doing is producing classes all the time. Every day we have something going on. And then we have meetings and we're like, well, we're behind. We can't get this done. We can't. It's like, it's okay. Like 5 years ago, we had no classes. And guess what, Ale, and she knows this, we were equally as busy. It felt just as busy as it does now. Right? But now we're doing all these classes. Look how many people we're reaching. 85 people online right now. 300 people came to Devil Angel last week. We have hundreds and hundreds of people that come to Daylon, right? And then all the people that are helping. UKR, INT, backup, Ola, right? Look at that. Anastasia, like all the people that are recording right now, all the people that are translating, right? All of these people that are doing these in all these classes. Like we didn't have those people 5-6 years ago, but we're still working as hard as we did. And if the joy falls away, it's a seed. It has nothing to do with the work. Except if you understand the work that you're doing, then maybe that'll create the joy. All right. So what are some of the obstacles to your joyful effort? Okay. Just in case you were wondering, what are some of those obstacles? First of all, we talked about it. It's kind of a laziness, but it's kind of just, to me, laziness means like being distracted by pleasant things that take you away from planting good seeds with other people. Say it again. Laziness is a type of, here's the big danger in your Dharma practice. You've struggled, and I see some of you struggling so difficult, like so much, putting so much effort in. And then one day, your good seeds start ripening. Your body feels good, your life is put together. Everything just seems to work nicely. And then you get lazy. Why? Right? Because the good seeds are ripening. You feel good. You don't have to try so hard anymore. Bad idea, guys. Bad idea. Because those good seeds will wear out. When things are going well, that's when you need to be doing more. Right? That doesn't mean don't enjoy the good things that are happening. I didn't say that. In fact, enjoy them. Enjoy them so much that you understand why you're enjoying them. Why are you enjoying them? Why do you have enjoyment? Why do you have that? Because you planted the seed for it, dummy. Then you can understand why you're enjoying it. Then you can just enjoy it completely. But in your back of your mind, you should know that that's just a seed ripening. So that's the first thing. Laziness gets in your way. You know, also there's just and it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to take breaks. I'm taking a vacation in June. 5 days in Kyoto, 7 days of vacation. I'm turning everything off. Sorry. You need me? Go find your Ne Lama. Get it? All right. But it's okay to take time off. It's okay to recuperate. This body gets older. It needs time. It needs to relax, right? But don't get stuck in it. Literally 2 days of vacation, and I get bored, and I'm like, I got to do something. So, but there's a pleasant habit that happens around slothiness, and then the second thing is like, it's kind of what I said in the first, it's kind of a mix, is attraction to improper activities. And what that means is doing things that are just planting bad seeds. And only you are all good practitioners, I can tell. But what are the things you do when you think no one's looking? Like, what's going on in your mind? What are the things that are obstacles to you? What are things that are getting in your way? And only you can know what those things are. I know I have them. So, so it's like, okay, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? And we have these habits, and then we just take one by one, we just eliminate them. And sometimes it's hard to face that in ourselves. And that's why we need support. We need people to reach out to. Because sometimes those bad habits, we don't even know we have them. Or they're running in the background so much that we don't even recognize that we're planting those seeds. And then thirdly, the other thing that works against effort is, and it's very rare that we hear these kind of things in Dharma, is that basically it's a feeling of low self-esteem, of becoming discouraged, thinking that you can't accomplish anything, that you're not good enough, that you're not able to do it. Other people are capable, but not me. A lot of people feel this. Not a surprise that Shantideva is mentioning it either. I can't do this. I'm not able to. I'm not capable. Or that you've been planting seeds for years and you haven't seen the results yet. That's annoying too. But it's a thing where, if you understand seeds really well, when you go through periods of time where things don't change or things get worse, or you're not able to change them, this is why we need support from others. Really. Because then you can just get stuck in your head. But those are things that work against joyful efforts. If you think you're not able to do it, then why would you do it? Right? Logically. If you think you're not able to accomplish these kinds of things, then you wouldn't do them. And that they all kind of feed into each other, right? So how do we overcome that? How do we overcome these real human experiences? These are, Shantideva just boiled down 99% of humanity, right? You just, first of all, you get a little slothy. You're like, it's not really worth the effort. I'm not seeing the results. You kind of do, like, you're not a bad person, but you just kind of do certain things that you probably shouldn't be doing. And then all of those things kind of wrap up into a self view of, I'm just not good enough, maybe next life. you know so overcoming that, it's a deep, deep, deep pattern that we have. We all have it. And in Diamond Way, it's one of the worst things you can do is believe that you can't do it. Is to think that you can't reach the goals. It's kind of weird to say it that way. But it's a viewpoint that's normal. Like, it's unraveling the normal viewpoint of who we are, who we think we are, who we arise as, who, when you wake up in the morning and you open your eyes and you're like, hi, I'm Tim. Well, actually, I hope you don't say that. I hope you say, hi, I'm Alexander. Right? If you said, hi, I'm Tim, I would be really worried. But as an example, right? You wake up and you go, hi, I'm me, right? And who is that me that wakes up in the morning? Am I just limited me, or am I expansive me? Do I have the possibility of being someone who's greater, bigger, happier, and more joyful, where I see less suffering around me? Yes. Why? Why? We're not going to finish today's class. I don't care. You are just like a pen. Okay. Just think, you can either be a dog or a human, right? Or you could be somebody else if you had different seeds, right? And part of all of these teachings is to terrify us into doing things. Terror is a great motivator. I don't like it that much, though. if you ever grew up in a household where you were afraid of being yelled at all the time or stuff like that, it's a motivator to do things in a certain way, but it's not a really good motivator in the end. But it's helpful in some ways, in this case. Where are you going to go after this? Oh, you think this life is bad? There are so many other lives that are so much worse than this. There's even worse human lives than what we're experiencing, right? But if you could see the fact that you have emptiness, the person that's arising right now isn't the person that has to arise. I mean, yes, what's happening right now has to because the seeds are opening. Sorry. Okay. But it could be something different. So if you woke up in the morning and for a split second you thought, I am you just visualized yourself as an enlightened being already and felt that for just 1 minute. And then what about your day? What seeds would you be planting? Think about it. So Shantideva goes a little bit deeper and says, all right, well, what are some of the things? This is why I love Shantideva. He's so real. He's like, yes, emptiness. Emptiness comes in the 9th chapter of his book. He's just like, look, guys, ladies and gentlemen. He's like, I know. He's like, I know what laziness is. I know all the things that get in your way. Like, I know these things, right? And he says, what causes you to not engage, right? Like, what we said is like, okay, first of all, like enjoyment of pleasures where you don't understand where the pleasure comes from. That's a form of laziness. He just said, okay, time out. He just says the sweet enjoyment of some pleasure, right? That's what he says. But what he means, and I don't like to waste my time with things that don't relate to emptiness. What he means is enjoying things without understanding where the enjoyment comes from. The good feelings that come with having a good meal or making out with your partner or whatever, or many other things that just bring sweet pleasures. If you don't understand where they come from, then they're just going to wear out, and that's a kind of laziness. The second thing he says is you just don't want to do good things, right? This is the thing with like meditation, like lay low. The lay low we're talking about is like you look at your meditation cushion and then you don't do anything, right? You have a reluctance, a resistance to doing good deeds. What does that mean? What is that like? What does it mean to, like, does everyone know that? Does anyone know that feeling? Like you want to do good things, but like, you should, but you just don't. Like you want to do good stuff, but then you're like, I'm just going to watch The Bad Batch. Hope we, on Disney Plus. I'm going to sit here and watch it all night. 5 episodes, right? That feeling of, I just don't want to do it. And mainly what he says is that it's just a lack of renunciation. It's a lack of not understanding that this is a cyclical life and that it will end. And you don't have enough, they say, disgust with it. And if you're living in a human body, I don't know what your body's like, but every day I have some problem. There's some problem. The back hurt for a little bit, the eyes hurt, or I'll have a headache, or I'll be tired, or my arm will hurt, some stupid thing. Every day, there'll be some stupid thing that happens. And it should remind you that this is this will end. You should not enjoy it in the sense of just don't ignore don't ignore the samsara around you, because it'll just take you away. That's all. And samsara will, if you've been having a good life, samsara will remind you at some point. It will remind you what you forgot. And hopefully it's gentle. Most of the time it's not. And the thing is, we have Shantideva goes on to say that we're not even paying attention to how quickly we're going to die. We're just even ignoring all the things, even people around us that are dying all the time. We're just like blinding ourselves to it. We're just like, how quickly all of this could just go away. And he describes this as, and I tried to find a picture, but I just couldn't stomach it. Like cows at a slaughterhouse, right? They're in a line, and then they get brought in one by one, right? And they have like no awareness that they're next. If they actually knew what was happening, some do actually, but they figure it out too late, just like us. They figure it out too late, and then the whole process starts, and then you're done. If you ever want to become a vegetarian, watch a video about at a slaughterhouse. Okay. If you ever want to, if you want to watch, if you want to convince yourself in a negative way. So what happens at the time of death, and what Shantideva says, is that it sneaks up on us very quickly. And then immediately we're tormented by all the bad things we did in our life. They come rushing in. This is a normal death process, guys. Okay. We can change it. We can do something different. Don't worry. But so all these regrets, all the bad deeds come rushing in. And then he says the sound of the hell realm start creeping in. Like the terror of what's coming next starts popping in. Right? It's like you almost hear the hell realms coming at you. And then it gets very graphic. Is that they say out of fear. When people die, their intestines empty. They basically poop all over themselves, right? And he says that it's out of terror that this happens. Like, we have an expression in English, right? Scared the shit out of me. You got so scared that you pooped. Okay. Now we also know that, the part of the death process is, the entire body relaxes. And so, but it's, the thing is, you're still aware of it happening. It's not about what you see from the outside. It's what others see from the outside is what you experience. Right. So all of those negative deeds rush in. You hear the sounds of hell coming around you. You're absolutely terrified. And then you're aware of shitting yourself. Okay. Losing control. And then he says the last thing that happens is that you basically move into a world of insanity. Your mind, you just lose control of your mind. It's pretty nasty, actually. And then, so what happens is, as this process is going on, all of these emotions arise. And then we realize that we expected excellent results without doing anything to get them. This is heavy class, guys. I'm sorry. So we expected good things to happen, but didn't do the good things to make them happen. And then we also had this expectation that we would live forever. And then we all of a sudden become very aware of all the suffering around us too late. You have a feeling of too late renunciation. You become aware of everything, but it's too late. Your body's already decomposing, falling apart. Your winds are dissolving. So Shantideva says, like, look, is that we so easily give up the source of happiness for things that don't cause happiness. We do bad things to get what we want. Right? We distract ourselves. And I don't blame people either. I don't need to try not to blame myself. You just want comfort. Like, if your body hurts every day, you just want comfort from it. Right? Of course. So what Shantideva is really saying to us is, look, this is where this train goes. The train can go this direction. Right? Or we can take a train in a different direction. Right? We can take a train in an opposite way. And it doesn't mean becoming obsessively effortorious. I don't even know if that's a word. It doesn't mean make great efforts in an afflicted way. Just do good deeds on a regular basis and enjoy doing them. Like, you don't have to make drastic changes. But if you don't make the changes, that is what will happen to you. Okay. Sorry. We got through the whole class. Yay. Good job. So where we're going next, right? We're going to be going deeper into joyful effort next week. Learning more about how do we apply it? How do we look at the seeds for it? So that we can, have it arise naturally. Like where you're just interested in doing good deeds and then you enjoy doing them. You don't get upset when you don't get upset when you have spiritual difficulties. You just somehow enjoy it. We'll talk about that next week. So starting this weekend, speaking of delayed advertising, we're starting our teacher assistant training this weekend for ACI 7. And it's going to be a completely different course. And it's that we're going to be shifting how we do our teacher trainings a little bit, at least for this one. And we're going to be going into depth about how to teach the Bodhisattva vows and learn all the things you need to know about the Bodhisattva vows to be able to teach them, including the ceremonies, including getting a list of names, all the things that you need to be able to give Bodhisattva vows, because you're going to have to give Bodhisattva vows because you're going to be teachers. Okay. So this weekend, we're going to be doing 2 days of training the people who will be helping train the teachers. So if you would like to join us this weekend, please, even if you don't want to be a teacher assistant, it's a really good thing to learn, at least observe. You can come and observe. You can watch, you can learn something. You can learn about how to teach. And then there's going to be some workshops that you'll need to do to prepare yourself to be a group leader in the teacher training. You can come, Z. You just can't teach it yet. But we're going to be giving vows at the end. So if anyone's interested in getting vows as well. But yeah, so even if you don't have vows yet, or you're just thinking about it, come. All right. It's a very, very beautiful course. I know some people are kind of bummed that we're making a requirement that you have to have vows to teach this course. But come on. Like, you need to have the vows to teach it, because they are the vows. If you don't have them, how could you teach them? So, but if you don't meet all the requirements, still come. You'll learn a lot. You definitely will. And then later in the future, then you can become a teacher of that as well. Just plant the seed and keep swimming. Cool. Thank you all very much for joining today. Thank you, translators. Thank you, tech team. Thank you, ACI. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you continue to have a wonderful day. And if you never come back, all right, if you never come back again, try to upload feelings of satisfaction when you're doing good deeds. That's all. Even if it's fake. The fake will become real. Okay. Have a good day. Have a break. For those of you staying for Lamrim, I'll see you in half an hour. Ciao. And let's say goodbye too. Sorry, I forgot.
Thank you.
Yêu Tim là.
Thank you,
Thank
team.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Gracias.
Спасибо
Bye.
огромное.
Благодарю, Тим.
Super, danke, Tim. Tschüss.
谢谢老师。
Cool. All right. Take a break. See you in 25 minutes for some Lamrim.